Okay guys, there are a couple of things that really nobody tells you about the brand new A32, the Galaxy A32 5G, including Samsung, that is. Let me start with the display, and I know it is TFT technology and we all know what that means, right? But I have the A31 here next to it to make it even more compelling because it has that super AMOLED screen compared to the TFT screen on the A32. There's something you really need to see here. And let me just get this out of the way. Both have 60 Hz available regardless of display technology and choice. So when you look at the footage, the first thing you will see is that the display is bigger on the A32, right? Yes, and the bezels are there, and it's the same here on the A31, and both really have that teardrop notch. Interesting choice, but this is not why you clicked on this video, so let's move on. Now you look at the colors of both devices, and it is needless to say when I play this footage here that the A31 is taking the lead. Look at this. Colors are popping, the saturation is top notch, and basically, it is just a pleasure to watch content on this device. And the viewing angles make it even more compelling for the A31. Man, it is terrible on the A32. As you can see here, but this is due to the TFT technology, the display technology. And it really doesn't matter whether it is Samsung or somebody else who's using that. You will always have that funny viewing angle here for the TFT screen. And I bet you are slightly confused now, but don't be, because my title says why you should go with the A32, and I totally stand by this, so hear me out. I'm going to tell you why right now. You see, the challenge I'm going to present to you today is take the display out of isolation. And what do I mean by this? Well, maybe a different wording here. Maybe you should really park your display preferences for now. We get it back later on. What I want you to do is come to terms with how long you will be using your phone for when you make this investment. Will it be 1 year? Will it be 2 years? Will it be longer than this? Think about your personal return on investment when you spend your money for a great mid-range phone, and that is exactly what it is. The A32 is a really good mid-range phone, and I know you're gonna tell me so is the A31, and I agree with this to a certain extent. So you see, nobody, including Samsung, touches on these little things. Take this one, for example. What type of internal storage is being used for either phones? And we have eMMC for the A31, which is really an ancient technology when it comes to storage, versus the SSD, a regular SSD storage here for the A32. And I know what you say. Yes, why should you care? Well, in real life, that means your disk reach speed is double on the A32 versus the A31. And that makes a huge difference. This is most important as most of the time you will be reading off your disk, meaning accessing all kinds of information and applications, especially loading them, using them, even gaming. Games load faster. It's just a matter of fact. You will immediately notice a difference here. Daily usage, absolutely. And we are all so set on the Geekbench 5 results, which by the way is also better because there is a better processor built in the A32. So all of this already you can see there's a huge advantage for the A32, but it doesn't stop here, so stay with me. So what about software? It is a huge component these days, and that's where it gets really tricky for Samsung here, because Android OS is not their own operating system. So what they have to do is they have to make a choice. They have to prioritize in terms of who gets what, which update will be distributed to which device and which region. I am going to give you one example out of the real business world, and it is a bit far-fetched, but you will get my drift, I promise. Imagine you are in charge of cybersecurity in your corporation, in your company, and you have $1 million available for the coming fiscal year. But you know you have 10 issues you need to fix, and that will cost you ultimately $1.5 million. So what do? You have to prioritize. You have to look at the breaches that could really impact your organization and your customers. In real life, that means you end up covering only 8 of the issues, and you know 2 will come along and you have to deal with them separately. And you know that the impact of the 2 of the breaches will not be as prominent as of the other 8. So this is kind of managing the risk. And that's very similar to the Android update or One UI update when it comes to the phones. And this strategy, many companies do this around the world. There is not just endless money available to deal with this stuff. And when you look at the A31, it ships now with Android 10, One UI 2.5 with a release scheduled for June this year for Android 11 One UI 3.1, and this is probably the very last update for this device. And all of this changes when you go for the A32 because it comes with Android 11 One UI 3.1 already. So that means Samsung's guarantee here will at least get you to 2024 because the guarantee is to give you an update of 3 generations of Android updates. So realistically saying that one update per year will get you to 2024 when you get this device. This is probably the last update you will get for the A31 this year. Going back to hardware, I also noticed that the speakers are so much better on the A32 than the A31. And when you live in top shelf, you know you gotta set the bar high. Had the same dreams since we was kids. Big tips, big cars, and even bigger cribs. Never thought that it would happen just the way it did. Fast forward that now, it's just the way we live. Let's go food and drinks, but what makes you think that this life's made for a king? As a matter of fact, I really like the build quality so much better here. The way it sits on my hands and including the fingerprint sensor here on the side is really, I like it better. And for design choices, you have a whole bunch of different colors available. Then you have the camera is much better, 5G. I know, maybe we get to use it one day, right? And what I really want you to think about is longevity. So let's get the display issue or challenge out again to mix it up. Let's get it out. Let's get it on the table right now. Let's talk about it. Yep. And for all you display junkies, including myself, I hear you and I feel you. I have used both phones and yes, you can tell a difference. Absolutely. However, here's my big however. I feel like that this phone lasts or will last much longer than the A31. It is future-proof for 3 to 5 years. It also feels more modern when you use it. I like everything about it. And really, considering you invest $280 for either device, and you know that one of them will be around for a long time, so it is really a no-brainer to me. So I know the TFT display is debatable. Not everybody's gonna like that, especially with the viewing angle. However, you do know when you get this phone, the A32 with TFT technology, that the picture quality will not degrade. And that is different on a Super AMOLED screen. I've seen people with burn-ins and leaving comments. I haven't had any, but the picture quality on a OLED screen or the Super AMOLED screen will degrade. And that is a fact. That is a fact that you cannot ignore. And when you look at the whole picture, right, you have better performance, future-proof, software updates. Everything seems to be better but the display. And that is going back to my first statement. Take it out of isolation. Yes, if you just look at the display and if that is what you are after, then this is your phone. Then go for the A31. But for everything else, if you want to have a phone that only costs you only $280, 5G, everything is there. Performance is really good. Go with the A32. It's a no-brainer. Guys, because you made it so far, I'm going to give away this A32 here. It is international, so anybody can enter. You need to do step 1, you have to be subscribed to our channel. Step 2, you need to like and comment our video. Step 3, enable all notifications. Regardless, they have to be enabled. Step 4, watch the entire video. Watch this video from the start to the beginning with no double speed. I can check that. So just to be clear, it is international. I will ship it anywhere in the world and I will announce the winner next Sunday. Thank you for watching. Peace out.